Nightly Musers, followers of the pod, faithful few and hopeful many. This is Anchor by Spotify. If you haven't heard about it, it's the easiest way to make a podcast. It's the very platform that allows me to give you what I give you on the nightly. So let me explain. Anchor has tools that allow you to record and edit your podcast right from your phone or computer. And it gives you the ability to distribute your podcast on listening platforms like Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and so much more. It's everything you need to make a podcast in one place. And best of all, Anchor is totally FREE free. So here's where you come in. Download the Anchor app or go to anchor.fm to get started. That is ANCHOR.fm to get started. Thank you very much. Peace. So, I'm playing at a wedding today. Noah gets married today. And I'm extremely excited. Weddings are fun because you get to be a part of something with somebody. Well, welcome to the Nightly Muse podcast. This is your host, Tinayeshe. Shout out Low Fly. He's that guy, and his name is spelled Lofly. So yeah, I'm playing at a wedding this weekend, today, in less than 3 hours. And I'm super excited. I'm a little nervous, and I guess I'm here to just tell you about my process. Weddings are, it's funny being a worship leader and being friends with Christians. You end up playing not a lot of the same songs, but you end up playing songs that you're kind of used to already at weddings, but the vibes are just so different. When I play on a Sunday morning or on a Thursday night or whenever, I don't feel the same pressure that I feel at a wedding. In part because of what I believe theologically about God. Does God care if I mess up? Not in the same way. I don't think. I think he, I'm still in Leviticus right now, and some of the things I've been learning from there is that God, he's the same yesterday, today, and forever, but you're reading stuff in Leviticus that shows the holiness of God, the requirements of holiness, and at least momentary or circumstantial perfection out of his people. And when I play on a Sunday morning, I think I worry about my heart posture. And I practice and I try to do good work. But, if I mess up once or twice, it kind of loosens me up to feel more free. At a wedding, dude, I'm here's my mindset. I want to be really, really good elevator music. I want to be Chick-fil-A Christian 91.9 instrumentals in the background music. I want to set the atmosphere, be present enough to be appreciated, but not take any shine. I want to be background, environment, aromatics, basically, atmospheric, but it's all to point towards. And it's kind of the same thing. When I lead worship on a Sunday, I'm pointing towards the goodness of God, this story of our faith that we get to partake in. On a wedding, I am building emotion. I'm building up suspense. I'm building up anticipation for when those doors open and the pastor says, please rise. And now we are focusing on the most beautiful person in the room. And that means a lot to me. And it terrifies the crap out of me. Because to me, a wedding is the one place where I don't want to make a mistake. Because you only get one shot. Obviously, barring divorce or vow renewal, which isn't the same, you only get one shot. And it can be a little terrifying to process, like, hey, if you mess up in this moment, you're not going to get a do-over. On church on Sunday, if I mess up in one service, I've got another service to figure out my crap. In this instance, there is no redo. There is no figuring it out, air quotes. It is, you do it, and then you're done. And there's some freedom in that, and there's also some really high responsibility in that. And so I am playing at a wedding today, and man, oh man, I'm so excited and I'm so scared. And I think part of the reason why I'm so like jittery right now is because this is probably the most excited I've ever been to be a part of somebody's wedding. I've had really close friends in my past get married, but Noah has really turned into one of my best friends. And that is something, not that I didn't expect, but as I said in our previous episode about him, he isn't somebody who necessarily says that he loves you, but he shows it. And he'll write it in a letter, and he wrote me a letter once where when I saw it, it made me cry because of the fact that it was really like one of the first times I'd heard him or read it, that he said it. And but in the ways that, and I did a whole episode about the importance of saying it, but there's also great importance in acting it and showing it. And so there's certain people where I do need to hear that from. And there are other people where I know, like, hey, their personality may not be the type that just says it all the time, but when they do say it, they really mean it. And when they do say it, I'm already like, it doubles down what I already know about them because of how they've shown it. And we all have our shortcomings, but in the ways that Noah does come through, it's really meaningful. And he is somebody who, the only other like example of this that I had was when I was an intern during that super summer staff year with Sadie, Casey, Connor, and Amy and myself. Casey and I had the bromance of a lifetime, and we spent so much time together. And it didn't matter what we were doing. Like, the heart of it felt like we were just two friends hanging out all the time. And whether it was two friends hanging out helping lead youth together, or two friends hanging out going to a movie together, or two friends hanging out driving down between exit 36 and exit 30 to see two different sets of sunsets, we did so much life together, and every part of it felt meaningful and intimate and like quality time. There was a baseball game that I was trying to take a girl to, and she was out of town, and I kind of had to take a blind shot, and I took the shot. She wasn't available, and I told Casey, hey, if she's not available, I'm taking you. And Casey to this day says that it was one of the best dates he's ever been on. One, he loves baseball. Two, it was a baseball game, fireworks, and then we got Benny Pinello's Pizza, which, if you don't know about Benny Pinello's, it is a holy place. But anyway, Casey and I's life together during that summer, like, it's hard to bottle up that magic. And, after that summer, we go our separate ways. And every time we see each other, it feels like it's that summer again. And it's beautiful. But with Noah, we spent an entire year together. And one of the things during that time was, like, I think each time, because I did the internship twice, and then when I became a resident, like, you're looking for that friend. You're looking for that magic again. And Noah and I found that magic, and it didn't look like what Casey and I had, and it didn't need to. But it was special in its own right. And he invited me into parts of his life. We shared things in our lives together that really, really mattered. And the connecting point of him being a newly minted Christian who was on fire for Jesus, and me being kind of an old head, been in it for a while and a little tired, but still kind of looking for the same things, just kind of coming from different places. I think we complemented each other very well in how we ended up leading a community group together. We supported each other well, and he was definitely like the head, and I was more behind the scenes support because I was a little overextended, but happy. At first it was kind of begrudgingly, etc. We complement each other well. We do life together, and man, like, I am not looking forward to the grieving process that is immediately going to follow after the high of this wedding is done, when I realize, like, for at least a little while, I'm not going to have the access to Noah that I've had for the past 2 years. And that's going to suck. But I can rest and be joyful at the fact that God gave me a friend that I didn't see coming, with a personality that I wasn't expecting, but a heart and character and friendliness that I needed so much. He sharpened my edges, made me laugh when I needed to laugh, made me less rigid when I needed to be less rigid, and more rigid when I needed to be as well. He is a good friend, and he cares, and he might not always be able to say it, but he almost 100% shows it every time. And so, Noah, you're getting married today. And while the episode may not be releasing today, man, I'm so freaking excited for those doors to open and see you cry. And man, when that happens, I might break down too, but that can't happen because my job is to sing. And so, my encouragement to you guys is, obviously, I think when you have a lifelong friend or a best friend and you kind of go your separate ways, or life takes you in different places, you're always trying to, like, find that magic again, or at least that's me. And I would encourage you to be open to that magic looking different. Be open to that relationship taking its own path, because it's necessary. And when it happens and you let it happen and it's natural, beautiful things happen, and the story is just, it's better when it writes itself. So wish me luck. I'm pretty confident in the gifts that God's given me and the person that is playing with me as well, Andrew Becker. But it's going to be fun. I'm going to dance my tail off and hopefully have enough energy to lead the church tomorrow, because, Juneteenth, put the black guy in there. I'm just kidding. But I am leading, and I am black on Juneteenth. But I'm excited, and Noah, thank you for being my friend. It's taking all the self-control for me to not sing the Golden Girls theme song right now. But I gotta preserve the voice, the golden pipes. And so with that, shout out Low Fly. Peace. Also, I did forget to say that one of my favorite things about my job as a wedding musician is when, like, I get to rearrange music, basically, and so the bride and groom will tell me what they want musically to happen or the songs that they want, and I get to kind of, like, craft the moment. Again, a lot of power. And within that crafting of the moment is a lot of thought and just how can I restructure this song to, again, successfully build up the anticipation and give a like powerful release that points to the emotion and the beauty of the moment, while again putting the forefront of the focus on the subject matter, which is the bride. And so sometimes it'll be like, hey, we're thinking about an instrumental, and I'll be like, okay. And instrumentals, especially with Christian songs, like, they're not a lot of chords, and so it's not as fun. So I'll try to like, and honestly, like, there's certain guitar players that can play like the melodies while also playing chords, and I'm not there yet. And so if you just want me to play chords, I can, and it'll still sound pretty, but it definitely limits the sauce, the magic. And so there are times where I get to where I can like I'll just send them what the idea would have been if they wanted words. Or one time somebody wanted to just play a recording on the phone, and I was like, well, I think I could do a pretty good job with it. And so I sent it, and the husband wanted me to sing it. And so I just kind of, gave my little trial run, my tryout. And might I say, I'm undefeated. Not to say that I sound better than whatever the artist has done, but there's just something that's just different and more intimate and beautiful about a live room. But when it's dance time, I'm all for the recordings. I'm all for the DJ. I don't want a live band during dance time. So that's just me and my wedding one day. All right. Peace.